Well, howdy, how y'all doing today? I'm Mr. Michael with M&M Model Railways. So the first M is Michael, the second M is Michelle, my wife. You've seen her in several build videos as well as many of our unboxing surprise videos. And as you can tell, I'm sitting here in front of my train table and I've got my cowboy hat on and my western shirt. And if you've noticed in the barn building videos, you've seen me in a Western design. So what I'm going to be talking about in this video is I'm going to be talking about building an interior in that big red sail barn back there. So I want to show you three pictures of what an interior of a barn looks like, and I'm going to put those pictures on the screen in front of me so you understand what I'm trying to build and what I'm trying to represent here. Let's do that right now. Well, as you can tell, this first picture shows a smaller inside picture of what a sail barn looks like. So you can see some auctioneers, you see two entry gates there, you see a curve of that section, and you also see some people sitting in a bleacher. The second picture that you're seeing is a bigger area where you can get more cattle in there, and that's what I'm trying to represent in my barn. But you're still seeing the auctioneer's booth, you're seeing people sitting there, and you can see that the ground is actually the color of the dirt, or there's sand or something inside there. This last picture shows the same kind of setup with bleachers off to one side and the circle corral there, and people are sitting around that and they're bidding on those cattle. That basically, my friends, is what a interior of a sail barn looks like. And I've been around a lot of sail barns growing up as a cowboy and having my own horses and my own cattle. So there's several things that go into building this in-scale interior. First of all, you know that we're going to be putting some panels, some fence panels in there. Let me show you those panels. So you can tell there Woodland Scenics has some fence panel sections, and I'm going to be cutting off those pieces that go into the ground and trying to actually put those on the top of my surface that you're going to be seeing in the next video clip in this video. The next thing, of course, that we're going to be putting inside there is we're going to be putting some cattle that are being sold. Those ones that are standing up in there, and those ones that are, eating in there. They're going to be inside the sail barn. There's a mama laying down, and there's some babies there. We'll be putting them out in the far pasture. We don't want to actually sell any of the calves that are coming in, or mamas that are pregnant. The next thing that we want to put in there is we want to put some people that are sitting in the bleachers. So you can see some sitting people there. So I'm going to build the bleachers so it looks like they're sitting on the bleachers and actually giving bids to buy those cattle. And I'll be probably getting another package of these because we're going to have some auctioneers that are setting up there, and they're the ones that are going to be selling these cattle. So we're going to get started building this interior here in just a minute. So what we need is we need an auctioneer's booth inside there. We need the fence, we need the cattle, we need the people. So people are going to sit on some bleachers. We're going to put that in there as well. But the other thing I'm going to build is an area in the sail barn where you go to pay for your cattle. So if you've ever been to a sail barn, you know that you have to pay for those cattle. So we're going to be building one of those, and there'll be maybe some people standing in there, but it's going to be really, really small. The thing is let me show you this barn up close. You can actually see through these doors of this barn. Let me show you that now. Now, this is actually the barn. And if you can tell, we have two doors that are open. And if I turn this upside down, you can see that there's actually light that's going to shine through there. We've got two side doors. These side doors, this is going to be an employer's door. This will be where the people come and go, or this may be where the people come and go. There's a back door here. This will go out the back part of the barn. This side of the barn will be an alleyway where the the employees will come out these doors. They won't have any access to the cattle, so the cattle are going to have to come in these front doors on the lower side and out. We left the front doors open so you can look down there and see that. I'm going to show you that on the train table right now. Well, as you can tell, that's the barn actually sitting on the train layout, and when I get my light inside here, you'll be able to look down in here and see everything I'm going to build. So as I was telling you, the cattle will be loaded into a loading chute right here. So the trucks will come in this way with their trailers and they'll back up right here. They'll offload these. They might process them inside there, or they might process them inside this pen. So I'm going to bring a pen right here, and I'm going to put some cattle here. I'm going to put an alleyway going back in here, so there'll be an alleyway. And this here will be, the scope of the mold will cover all this up. There's going to be some hay storage setting here. I might put it next to the road here so that customer parking can all back up here. We'll have to see how that's going to lay out. But this is going to be the door to the sale barn here, where people are going to come in at. And you can see that door there. The other door is actually back here behind the haystack. I think that's going to be pretty cool. Back over here, you're seeing those other two doors. So those two doors will be employee access. So I need to make sure that when I mark my template in here, I know where these doors are. So I don't block those doors inside the cabin. And this pin is going to come over here, and then there's going to be an alleyway right here. So when they're done with the sale, they'll come back out here, and then they'll run them around this corner and back into this pen here. This first pen you're already seeing has cattle in it right here. You can see that. And so once they have a full load of things that people have purchased, once the pens are full, the stock yard cars will roll up on scene, and they'll load them out, and then they'll do another scene. So as you can tell, we've got our hay bales sitting there. That's where they feed them at right there. But one thing that I know that we're going to need is we're going to need something to represent the water in there. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some little straws, and I'm going to paint those little straws white, because I think that's where, see that little straw right there? I think they can actually drink out of a round tank, a round PVC. I think that's what I've seen in some feedlots. That's where they get their water from. So I'll be actually using a straw which is a little bit bigger. So one of those little cows will look like they're drinking out of that water thing. I'll put them on the other end of that. I think that'll look pretty cool. But let's get started on the interior of this barn. It's going to be several different little video clips inside this complete video. So you don't want to miss that. Please keep watching. So this is the inside floor that actually goes inside the barn. I've made some marks to indicate the little side doors, the back door, and the other side doors. Also indicated marks for the big barn door, as you can see going in. Yeah, I'm going to paint this whole thing the color of my dirt color because, as you've seen in the introduction, that's what's the most visible part that you're going to see is the dirt area. So might have to do a couple of coats of this. Then we'll talk about the interior of how I want to lay this out. Just going to leave my finger on there for, hold it down. When I get the whole thing covered, I'll remove my finger. I'm going to probably do 2 coats on this because the insides are showing through. I'll be showing you every step of this interior build. The first thing to do is to get my dirt color on it. Put some weight down on that corner there. So that's how I'm going to start, is by painting the actual base that's going to go inside the barn. So I'll put a couple of coats on that. And then we'll go from there. Well, as you can see, I've painted the floor inside the barn. The key thing here is I took my fence sections. I laid my fence sections out as if they were going to be put in place. So cattle won't go where square corners are. So you either need a circle or you need like a U shape. So that's what I developed there. These lines are long fence lines that'll attach to this U shape. This fence has little pins for the feet that go through it, so this is actually upside down on it. So the next thing I've done is I've created some bleachers for some people that are setting. I got a space that they can use to walk behind there, but I'm thinking about filling that in with another bleacher and then ordering some more setting people. The next thing that I'm working on is an auctioneer's booth, and I have a couple auctioneers that will be setting on this layout, and there will be walls on 2 sides, or maybe just the front where they can walk up each side. And maybe that's a little too big, but it needs to represent the other side of where the bleachers are, so we can make it look like there's auctioneers sitting there. The next thing that we need is we need to have a corner established for a paying booth. So I'm going to put that right here. I think that'll make a pretty good booth, but that'll be the top, and I'll come up a little bit, and we'll have an opening there. So I want to work a little bit more on the bleachers for right now. So that's my plan, is to figure out how to put another row of bleachers there and get another package of my setting people. So their feet are basically on the floor. So we need something that will put them up a little higher, and then another piece of this wood. Need to have a little place where the people can step up and then step up onto the back bleacher. So we may put one more person right here, and then we may not. So let me define this bleacher a little bit more. So it looks like there's one behind these folks' back. So we need another bleacher in there because this is the wall of the barn. People are really not going to be able to get behind there because the barn sits over this. So that little space that you see right there, it's really not enough to walk. So we can do a little edge where people can't walk down off of it. So what I'm going to try to do is build a little bit more of a bleacher. So there's one more layer height there. All right, I'll get that done and I'll come back and I'll talk to you about it. Well, I've completed the bleacher section for the people. I'm going to have to order another package of these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that's set in there. Maybe I'll order 2 so we can fill this in here. And well, you can put another few more here, and then they can also set up here. The barn wall goes here. This is the auctioneers booth right here, and they'll sit right here. And this is a table that most auctioneers have, as you can see in the picture that we're talking about. So if we bring our other fence panel sections in, this will actually be against that. Again, we have the pegs that have to be secured into the table, but that one will go right there. And I cut down some little pieces that will go right there. And same thing on this side. That one will go right there. And this one will go right here. The next thing that I got to build is this sales booth right here. So they buy them and they pay for them at this little booth. So there's a doorway here into the little booth. We don't want to have any other doorways in there because they're going to be taking a lot of money. We don't want to have a thief or something come and rob them. This door here will be a back door they can go in and out of. This is an employee door. This is an employee door. This is where the customers will come in at. Then they'll gather here. And as you know, there's probably no bathroom in there. I don't know where else to put a bathroom out, but maybe we'll put a little building outside and that's where the bathrooms will be. Always got to think about that. So we'll see what happens there. And I cannot install the fences until it's secured onto the table. So I might go ahead and paint this light gray, this auctioneer's table here. And then it'll look pretty cool. The reason that we're angling down is because when you look in there, that's what you're going to see. So that'll be inside the barn. So I think when this glue dries, I'm going to go ahead and paint that a light color of gray. I'm going to leave these like a weathered wood color. I think I like that pine in there. So I think that'll look pretty cool. But I'm going to have to order some more people. We're also going to put a light in there, so temporarily the barn will be loose. You can be able to lift the barn up out of there. And we'll probably put a barn light right over here or something, or maybe right here, because the door's open on this side of the barn. Let me actually get that barn and set it here so you know what I'm talking about. Hold on. Well, I set the barn down inside there. Zoom in on it. So you can see the fence sections. You zoom in down here. When I have the lights on, hopefully you'll be able to see down there, but we'll know that's there. And maybe that's all I needed to do is just the gate opening, but it's all going to be hidden on the inside of the barn, so maybe I don't have to paint anything. But I know that when we're sitting on the train layout and there's a light in there, you're going to be able to look inside there and see what's going on. So that's what it's going to look like in there. I know you can't see what we just put in there. The wife had the idea of leaving this there it is, leaving it so you can lift it off there, but as you can tell, it's pretty tight on there. So I still want to build the inside of it just so I know it's there. Well, I want to show you how I made the sales shed. So that's the front of it that the people will walk up to. There's the one of the back walls. This is the top of it. That barn is tall, but that don't need to be tall. And I put a little piece of wood to hold this back here. This is the side that goes against the door that goes to the outside. So I'll probably put some standing people in there. So that's why I left that side open so I can get them in there. I measured the N-scale people that I had. So that's the sales booth, so you can pay for your cattle in there. And the whole thing looks pretty cool right there. So I'm going to do some painting on this, and need to do a little bit of a shelf on there. So, you know, when you go to a sale barn, there's a like a little shelf there. So I'm going to use some of that extra scrap pieces of wood and put a little shelf there. Yeah, I'm going to do another little update for you so you can see what's going on. I've pretty much, except for more setting people, some standing people, and the inside pen area, I have finished the layout. So this is the bleacher area here, as you can see. Let me get something to point at here. So this is the bleacher. Right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people sitting there, and that's about how many come in the kit of setting people. So I'll be able to put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'll be able to put some setting people back here. This is the auctioneers area. This is a bench where they'll be have their paperwork at. They'll be sitting here, and so they'll sit here, and then it'll be like there's a workbench there. This is the sale booth here. So when they get done purchasing their cattle, they'll come here and they'll pay for this. So I'll have a couple of standing people inside there, and then we'll put some standing people here. Hopefully you'll be able to see that inside. We'll probably put a few more standing people in there. I wish N-scale had some cowboys that were standing, you know, and make it look like that. So I left this part open here, so there's a door on the barn that's on this side here. So that's what you're going to see when you look down inside there. Now what I want to do is I want to go in this area, and I want to brush in them lines there and put my dirt / manure mix, and then let that dry, and then we'll be mounting this to our train layout and gluing it down, and then we'll be putting our fence in there, and that'll be all we'll do. But I can set the people in there and carefully put a couple of standing people inside here, and then 1 or 2 standing people there. So I like how that looks, but like I said, we'll be showing the view from inside that. So check back when I get that ground manure area finished, and then we'll install it on the layout, and then we'll put the fence in. Check back in a minute. So what I use to apply this stuff, I want to have a bonding sealer. So I use my Mod Podge, and I can tell where it's at because it's white. Then I have some red dirt mix that I mixed up, and if you've seen the inside of the barn area, this actually looks like manure / dirt / whatever you might find in there. So I always shake that up really good before I put it in there. So let's go ahead and paint that Mod Podge and try to stay within the lines of that. Be afraid to give it a nice lateral coat of it. In other words, puddle it up in there. It's going to look like it's a pretty saturated area. And we'll set that out of the way before that has a chance to dry. Just going to use my fingers and sprinkle it through the whole area, and when it dries, what is not in that glue will just tip off of that area there. So I'm using my fingers so I can get pretty good even coverage with it. If I was to just shake it on there or dump it on there, it's too fine of an area to do that with. A little bit more. I think that's going to be good for that. And when that dries clear. It won't stay white. And what I'm going to do is use this stick and kind of try to level it out. Another thing you can do is take another brush that's dry, that hasn't been in the glue, and just sweep the little pieces. Could be dirt, could be manure, whatever. Just sweep it back into your area you're working on. Try to keep this as neat as they can, except for inside the pin area. And I don't want to cover up my lines so much, because I want to know where I'm going to have to cut them holes at for that end there. Now all you got to do is let it dry, and then we'll treat the top surface with some more glue. So that's what it looks like. And once the fence is setting on there, on the layout, it's going to look pretty cool. So that fence right now is upside down, but once it's mounted into the layout, then that will show you how it works. There is a little walk gate at that end in case somebody needs to go through that gate to push those cows out of there. I think that's appropriate. So that's the inside of my cell barn, and we'll see it next installed on the train layout. Well, just a little teaser. This is what it looks like being glued down, and because it was a little piece of cardboard, it's got a little bow to it. So as you can tell, it's glued down on top of my platform that I put in there because I wanted to build it up. So the barn will set down over the edges And as you can tell, there's an edge that the barn will sit down on. And then this view down here, you can also see a little white edge there as well. So when my glue dries here in a couple hours, I'll be able to take those off of there and I'll set that red barn over it. And then we'll shine a light in there and let you see what it looks like. Well, there is the interior inside the barn. Let's zoom in and you can see the manure on there. But let me shine a little light in there and see if we can see the interior, maybe with the lights off. You can see the I believe that's the sales booth there that you're seeing. And if we shine our light maybe at a different angle, there it is. That's the auctioneers, some cattle in there. That's the auctioneers deal. There's some cows in there that are for sale. Keep looking here. You can see the bleachers with the people sitting on there. And here pretty quick, we'll be able to, look at there. Look at there. You can see the cattle that are being sold in there. See what happens when we... Yeah, there's the auctioneer's booth. Let's see what we can see in that barn if we... there's the people. And trying to, there's that auctioneer's, not auctioneer's booth, but the sale booth that you're seeing in that back corner back there. So the only thing I have left to do is put the fence in here. Let me zoom this back out. Turn on a few other lights here. And what I'm gonna do until I get everything done and get some more people in there, can actually lift the barn off of there. And that's what you see and what you're gonna see when I get her done a little bit better. And I really like how it looks there. We'll put that fence in there and we'll take another look at it with a few more people in there. Talk to you later. Well, I guess I'll do a final wrap on this. Lift off this barn so you can see. We now have a completed inside corner. We will get some more people, we'll get some setting people, we'll get some standing people, and we'll get some more cows, and we'll get a light for it, because I think it'd be cool to see it light up in another video. I just wanted to thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so you can get additional videos on this layout. I think this is a pretty cool cattle sales facility. So they'll receive them in through area farmers and ranchers, and they'll take them into that sale barn and sell them, and then they'll load them into the pens. And then they'll load them into the cars to ship them off to the packing house. And then we also have some cows that will be ranch-owned cows that will be also raised and shipped off to the meatpacking plant. That's what we do with cattle. We don't save them for anything special. Some other plans for this layout is to build a hay barn enclosure, so we can see that from different sides, and then we'll put some fences up to make it look like there's an operation. We'll put some more sculpted mold in around that barn and get it finished, and you don't want to miss it. Please subscribe.